us a song of a love that once belonged. Nightingale, tell me your tale. Was your journey far too long? Does it seem like I'm looking for an answer to a question I can't ask? I don't know which way the feather falls, or if I should blow it to the left. Nightingale, sing us a song of a love that once belonged. Nightingale, tell me your tale. Was your journey far too long? All the voices that are spinning round me, trying to tell me what to say. Can I fly right behind you, and you can take me away? All the voices that are spinning around me, trying to tell me what to say. Can I fly right behind you? And can you take me away?
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Suzanne Landis. My pronouns are she, hers, and I am your worship associate this morning. Welcome to all who are here in this sanctuary and all who are joining us online. Together, we claim and celebrate the promise of our UU faith, that all of who we are is welcome in this co-created sacred space. Our mission as a church speaks of hope, transformation, and respect. Our faith is centered always in love. Together, we journey toward wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community that reaches far beyond our doors. As a people committed to the work of justice, we covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We unite in solidarity with all who are being marginalized, rejected, persecuted, silenced, and kept from fully being who they are. This morning's theme is solidarity with Palestinians. We are the Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church, and at this crucial moment in history, we hear the call to stand strong, to lead with courage, and to work tirelessly until the liberation of all people becomes a reality in our world. Each time we gather, we light our chalice as a primary symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. It is a visual representation of a dynamic faith. Helping us this morning with this sacred ritual is Delilah Simpkins. And our reading is from the First UU Church of Austin. This is the flame we hold in our hearts as we strive for justice for everyone. This is the light we shine on systems of oppression until they are no more. This is the warmth we share with one another as our struggle becomes our salvation. Please rise in body or spirit and join with me in the singing of hymn number 361 in your gray hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
And now it's time for the message for all ages, so if all the children and those young at heart can come on forward. So today's book is called Nerdy Birdie by Aaron Reynolds, pictures by Matt Davies. This is Nerdy Birdie. His glasses are too big. His wings are too small. He's allergic to birdseed. When all the other birds are hanging out together at the bird feeder, Nerdy Birdie is scrounging for breadcrumbs. Eagles, cardinals, and robins are the cool birds. So that eagle has wind-tested head shape, abs of steel, and impressively sculpted chest muscles. The cardinal, in the middle there, has a glossy red pompadour, glossy red attire, and his tail is also glossy and red. And the robin has beady eyes with superior worm vision, a worm-feeding physique, and feet, nothing to do with worms. There are three things eagles are good at: hunting, fishing, and playing football. There are 3 things the cardinal is good at: singing like a rock star, posing, and attracting fans. There are 3 things Robin is good at: picking on worms, insulting worms, and eating worms. The 3 things Nerdy Birdie is good at: reading, playing video games, and reading about video games. Eagles, cardinals, and robins don't care about reading. Nerdy Birdie says, "Hey guys, I just read the coolest book." Eagle says, "Who cares? Bookworm." "I eat bookworms for breakfast," says Robin. Or video games. They don't care about video games either. "Hey guys, I just defeated the Earthworm King in World of Wormcraft." "Who cares? I eat real earthworms, not digital ones." Nerd. One day, Eagle flew off to hunt, Cardinal flew off to impress fans, Robin flew off to terrorize worms, and Nerdy Birdie was alone. One thing was clear: it was awfully lonely not being a cool birdie. Why do you hang out around with them? They don't even like you. "But they're so cool," said Nerdy Birdie. "Trying to be cool is exhausting," said the new bird. "You should hang around with us." "Us? Us! After all, there's always room for another Nerdy Birdie." Their glasses were too big, their wings were too small, and at least half of them had birdseed allergies. They all liked to read, and most of them liked to play World of Wormcraft. They were exactly like Nerdy Birdie. And then he realized something. There were way more Nerdy Birdies than cool birdies, and now they were all his friends. Eagle didn't have any friends. Eagle hunted alone. Cardinal was always showing off. He had no friends. Know why? Because he was always showing off. Robin was too obsessed with worms to make friends. And one thing was clear: it was awful lonely being a cool birdie. But then a new bird moved into the neighborhood. The cool birds were unimpressed. "Hey guys, she gives me the creeps. Why does she always wear black? It's so depressing. She eats what?" The cool birdies flew away and left Vulture alone. "Why would you want to hang around with them? Being cool is exhausting. You should hang around with us." "Us? After all, there's always room for another Nerdy Birdie. Right, guys?" "Hold it! Where are her glasses? Where is her lightsaber? And have you heard what she eats? Blah! She is most definitely not one of us." Nerdy Birdie was confused. "But there's always room for another Nerdy Birdie, right?" "That's the problem. She's not a Nerdy Birdie. She's just weird." Nerdy Birdie looked at his flock of friends. The telephone wire was packed with them. He looked at the new bird sitting there alone. One thing was clear: it was awful lonely being alone. This is Nerdy Birdie. His glasses are too big, his wings are too small, and this is Vulture. She wears contact lenses. Her wings are enormous. Vulture eats dead things. Nerdy Birdie does not. Nerdy Birdie likes video games. Vulture does not. Nerdy Birdie and Vulture don't like all the same things, but they really like each other. If you ever need a friend, you can hang around with them. After all, there's always room for another birdie. And that's it. Now it's time for the children's blessing. We are blessed by being here. We are blessed by being here together.
Your heart in our love as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious light. We hold you in our hearts as you go.
There are many ways that we give to the life of our church, and our monetary offering is only one of those ways. Each month, we partner with a local congregation or local organization that is doing good work in our community and share with them the money that we gather. Our partner for the month of August is Music and More. Since the first concert in June of 1994, the mission of Music and More has been to provide free, high-quality musical entertainment, diverse in style, for the community, to give regional musicians an opportunity to perform in an acoustically superior venue in the historic sanctuary of First Presbyterian Church, to bring more people to the downtown area to enjoy restaurants, shops, and attractions after the concerts, and to raise funds for local nonprofit agencies through free will offerings collected at the concerts. Music and More has grown into a unique cultural offering that has featured hundreds of musicians. More than 319 free concerts have been given to date, and they estimate that more than $82,000 has been dispersed to various service agencies. So thank you for your generosity as we support important community organizations.
With me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in what we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it, want to change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Part of being in community is sharing our lives with one another. When we gather, we bring with us the joys and the sorrows that are on our hearts, and being here reminds us that we do not hold them alone. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like to speak out loud at the mic, you are invited to come forward first or raise your hand and a microphone will be brought to you. When spoken joys and sorrows are complete, those who wish to light a candle for silent joys and sorrows may then come forward. And just a reminder that our service is streamed online, so sharing at the mic can be heard by the larger community beyond these walls.
Many of you remember my husband, Jerry Cross, who died in 2018. Today would have been his 95th birthday, and I was sure he was going to make it that far because he was always so healthy. I'm bringing his name up to remember because this church meant everything to him.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Selke, and I have a great joy that Doug and Lisa are singing today. I'm the Vice President of the Root River Council, and I got to choose my good friends who are performing on the 23rd. They're from Milwaukee, and they played at Summerfest. They're called Mambo Surfers. They'll be playing in Island Park on August 23rd. Maybe next year Doug and Lisa can play for Music in the Park. I'll make sure that they're involved in it. So thank you so much.
Those who wish to light a candle may now come forward. We will now light one more candle for the joys and the sorrows that are on the hearts of our beloveds online. Please join with me now in singing, "There is a love holding me, there is a love holding us." The words are in your order of service.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in.
Our reading is taken from Solidarity with Palestinians, a 2024 action of immediate witness from the UUA. Our Unitarian Universalist faith draws on the moral imperative of radical love, and despite all odds, calls us to uphold a world where liberation is real and we all thrive. Our faith community has long recognized the horrors of violent anti-Semitism against generations of Jewish people, and we reaffirm our commitment to their safety. Our support for Jewish well-being was never meant to undermine the rights and lands of the Palestinian people. We seek a world where our Palestinian and Jewish kin are safe. We believe that until Palestinians are free, none of us is free. We decry all of the violence of October 7th. We further acknowledge that we cannot possibly contextualize all that led to this point, but note that Israel's occupation and repression in Gaza has been decades long. Unitarian and/or Universalist congregations and communities around the world have issued calls for peace, justice, and reparations in the Palestinian territories for decades. In 1948, 750,000 Palestinians were forcibly displaced, and at least 280,000 were displaced in 1967 when additional Palestinian lands were violently occupied against international law. UU General Assembly resolutions in 1982 and 2002 called for ending the occupation of Palestinian lands, and a 1982 UUA Board of Trustees resolution declared that criticism of the policies of the government of Israel should not be equated with or confused with anti-Semitism. Today, we recognize that Zionism is increasingly intertwined with supremacy and nationalism, which our faith has consistently rejected as unjust and discriminatory. In recent years, major human rights organizations have published reports documenting the apartheid policies and practices of the State of Israel. A growing number of Unitarian Universalist communities and individuals are calling for ending unconditional military aid to the State of Israel and affirming solidarity with Palestinian safety, support, and self-determination, including Black Lives of UU, diverse revolutionary Unitarian Universalist multicultural ministries, Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, UU College of Social Justice, Unitarian Universalists for Justice in the Middle East, Unitarian Universalist senior leadership, and thousands of UU religious professionals, lay leaders, and congregants. With the U.S. providing Israel the highest amount of military aid in the world, UUs in this country bear a responsibility to speak out against these policies. And now I invite Pastor Darren to come forward.
I don't know if that could have been timed more perfectly, so I feel like the weather with our picnic and the timing of this, I'm not buying a lottery ticket today because I've used up all of my fortune. So thank you for reading that, Suzanne. It even sounds better coming from a Unitarian Universalist. In the summer, the kind of themes are open for speaking to you all, but this was a subject that I have been speaking about in my congregation, and anywhere they'll let me talk, I guess, actually. And so I wanted to take the opportunity to speak with you all, and so of course I just used the Alphabet company's search devices to find some interesting things about what the Unitarian Universalists had to say. And this is a pretty good statement, I think. They've done a well-researched, nothing. I would expect no less from you Unitarian Universalists. But I want to just tell you a little bit of my own kind of coming to this topic. I was a teacher before going to seminary and becoming a pastor, and I taught 10th grade English for a number of years. And in many states, 10th grade English, they give you world literature. Now, you don't want to be necessarily in NASCAR country trying to teach Gilgamesh, but that's a separate issue altogether, just saying. If you're about to move to rural-ish North Carolina to do world history and world literature, I'm going to maybe give you some pointers or some different directions. But okay. But one of the themes that we looked at was the Holocaust. We read Night by Elie Wiesel. We looked at different films and different topics. Walk the kids through this. They didn't know much, and what they knew was not the right thing, let's say. But the point of all of that, teaching and introducing to the topic, and me personally going through the laying bare of that history with a bunch of teenagers every year, was to say, look, this is a terrible thing that happened. this should never happen again. We shouldn't allow states or nations or peoples to do this to other people. Like, we need to be clear about that with one another and with our leaders. That's just basic humanity. Again, not always was I convincing, to that crowd of young people. 10th grade, if any of you are middle school teachers, 10th grade is the 7th grade of high school. I don't know that it's, if you know, you know. But, so, for me, I have been, I think the main thing that I've been is I've just been so frustrated is the word that I use when I'm wearing this collar. There's other words that come to mind at home. And I know that we have not all of us have seen the same images. The way that our news works now, you don't pick and choose necessarily. You pick and choose some things, and then they pick and choose for you what you see and what you don't see. But what is happening right now, all the images that I see take me straight back to all the videos that I showed those kids. Emaciated people starved to death. Women, children, everyone. And, in high schools, we teach the narrative in a way that makes it clear that, we were the good guys. We made sure that it stopped, and we are against it, and don't worry about it. And so frustration and maybe just utter disappointment in the way that every single one of our leaders, in whatever level, really, state and federal, have been horrible on this issue. Horrible. And it's the same thing that we see in all other issues. The Republicans, yes, they're terrible in a way that makes you sick to your stomach, and, they're just bold-faced, whatever. The Democrats, they're terrible in a nice, smiling way. They're like, oh, yes, we're still going to send bombs, but we're nice people. And it's hard for me, I know, and I know it's hard for everyone, because we have, in so many ways, not only with this issue, but with so many others, have come to this place to realize the true nature of our powerlessness. I was at a big immigration summit on Saturday, and yes, there's so much we can do, there's so many ways that we can act, but in the end, federal troops are going to federal troop. It's a reality. And the mechanisms that we've been taught to stop things are not stopping things. The letters that we've written, the calls that we've made, the standing in people's offices, everything that we've been taught to do, that we were promised would work, haven't worked. And that's why I like that this statement is action of immediate witness. Action of immediate witness. It came out in 2024. But in the Christian tradition, this word witness is a word that comes up in apocalyptic literature. And that's literature when you're describing the world around you as so bad that only way you can see a way out of it is if all the mountains get crumbled down and the moon turns to blood, and the only way you can imagine the way out of it is if the whole world is shaken and changed. And the call of the prophets in that moment is always witness, witness, witness. No matter what happens to you or goes on around you, you know what's been planted in your heart. You know what's good for humanity. You know and have been taught for decades now that when we see genocide, we say never again. Right? And all we can do is witness. And keep witnessing. Solidarity comes in many forms. And this statement goes on to say more, and I encourage you maybe to look it up later on, to take a look at it. I encourage you, I'll read the last little bullet points in a second, but wherever there is hesitation in you, about this issue, wherever questions are about being in solidarity with Palestinians in this moment, I encourage you to speak to someone who you know is in solidarity with Palestinians, maybe to a degree that you're uncomfortable with. Ask them the questions. You don't have to be convinced, but I want you to know that because Palestinians are an enemy of our government, it is hard to find the true history about what's going on, the true context. So we're always going to struggle. And the media that you first automatically go to is biased against being in solidarity with Palestinians. And if you go back over the last couple years, you can clearly see it. It's not hard to see. But we are at a place in our lives, in our world history, where our children and our grandchildren are going to ask about these years. Where were we? What did we do? What did we say? How could it happen? I know that I won't be able to say that I did enough because it hasn't stopped. But I want to know that I witnessed to what I know is right. And that's the least we can do. Let me read the So there's 3 points. That's good way to end a sermon. So one is witnessing. Call for the liberation of Palestine and an end to the apartheid. Declare our moral outrage and shared horror at Israel's massacre, mass incarceration, torture, destruction of the land, and poisoning soil for future generations, and decimation of systems of care that support life in the region. Each of those words, each of those phrases is like a whole book of horrors. Bullet point 2 of point 1, Call for an immediate, permanent ceasefire, massive humanitarian aid, release of all captives, and an end to genocide around the world. Educating is point 2. Hold teach-ins about Palestine and Israel that include sacred spaces for spiritual processing. Point 3, organizing and advocacy. Engage with Palestinian-led groups and coalitions supporting liberation. Sign, amplify, and carry out the Apartheid-Free Communities Pledge. Support boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel and corporate enablers. End U.S. military aid to Israel until it ceases its policies and practices of apartheid, military occupation, settler colonialism, and genocide. Protect the freedom and safety of solidarity activists by supporting protests and opposing legislation and policies that restrict First Amendment rights. So good advice from the Unitarian Universalists. I'll seek to follow it in my own life. I hope that you will too. Without devolving into announcements, I just want to say there's some information in where we're going to have our fellowship time about a painting event that's coming up on October 22nd that supports some people on the ground in Palestine. There's a local young woman who's in coordination with people there. So it's also a fun night to come and learn how to paint a little bit. So that's in there. And just be on the lookout for any actions that you can take, any things that you can sign and be a part of. And I just thank you for this time. If you have any questions now or later, or anything you want to talk about this with, please come and find me. You know generally where I am most of the time, and you know the way to get here. So thank you again for your time. Yeah, let's be gentle and angry together. I'll try to be gentle. 170.
Singing for our love.
So I realized I gave kind of an abbreviation of the statement for the reading, and that's in there. But the rest of the stuff, that the bullet points and the points that I read are in the full statement. It's on the UUA website. If you look up the title that's on the reading, you can find the rest of it with the rest of the bullet points. Sorry, I didn't know how much room I had in the bulletin. Plus, I thought making Suzanne read the whole thing might be rude, you know. But anyway. You know, I didn't go into a lot of facts, statistics, and all of that stuff. It's out there if you want to find it. But I didn't do that because I know where your all's heart is, and all I wanted to do was connect with the humanity and spirit that I know that you all have and share. And so as we extinguish this light that is that flame of justice and love and transformation in this world, I know that we leave this place, me, you, and all of us, carrying that to be witnesses for what we know is good and right in the world. And I thank you for that. I'm going to steal something here. All right? Peace and unrest. All right?
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the oceans meet the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of everyone. Distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of everyone. And God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land, and it's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of everyone. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the song of everyone. And God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. Oh, God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance.
I'm Gregory Mason, and it's time for some announcements. Actually, we'll start with you, Reverend.
A representative from the board asked me to just come up and say, you probably had seen an announcement or been told about something, seen an email where the board had asked if I would be willing to do some pastoral care with anyone who was, in a situation where they wanted clergy while you all are in the midst of searching. So I just wanted to stand up and say that they didn't twist my arm. It's real. So if you ever find yourself in that situation or someone, please reach out. All right.
Hello, Brian Chung, he, they. Just want to let everybody know the choir season starts this Thursday. If anybody's interested in sharing the love of song, join us this Thursday at 7 p.m. in the chapel. That's where we'll be rehearsing. Any people of any voice, talent, level is welcome. Just help us sing and enjoy a song. All right, thank you.
Next Sunday, there will be no service here in the sanctuary. We'll meet at Sanders Park, which is off of Wood Road, at 11 a.m. for our church picnic. We'll be at site number 2. The 8th Principal Committee will be handing out a survey to members and friends of OBUUC at our picnic next Sunday. We hope to learn everyone's interests so we can plan our committee's focus for the future. The deadline to get announcements in for the September Unifier is August 25th. I think this is going to be the last time I cover this. It's been so nice that you all have been wrapping up your lanyards and tucking them in behind your name. I think you've noticed it's so much neater on the name tag card. But I've been forgetting to mention one thing. Thank you to Anita Miller for coming up with that. So, thank you, Anita. For more information and details about some of these announcements, along with others and community announcements, see your Sunday emails. Thank you to our volunteers today, our ushers, Christina Mondragon and Pamela Smiley, our Zoom host, Anita Miller, and our coffee hour hosts, Greta Monroe and Therese O'Halloran. That's all for announcements. Please join us for coffee hour in Erman Hall. For those on YouTube, log into Zoom. That link is in today's email.